Yeah, hello. How are you? Uh, we are we're going to talk about catfish business as usual. But before I go on today, I'd like to say a few things. Number one of the reasons why I am on YouTube is is to debunk the you know talk that catfish business is not lucrative. It's not good enough. And also, I'm here to prove to would-be catfish farmers and catfish farmers who are struggling that it is not a business that fails, you know. Or I like to say that failure in catfish business is not peculiar to the business. Any business that is not properly done, it will fail. So is catfish business. But if it is properly done, it doesn't fail. Um, it will definitely, you know, produce something good. You get profit out of it, surely, you know. But one thing you have to understand as a farmer or will be farmer is that farmers are not abundantly rich. They are not oil, magnets. They are not. They don't. It's not oil well. It is farming. So too much expectation from farming also is a problem and can lead to frustration. But if you do your business very well, definitely you will be able to get some profit out of it, and then it will help you to pay some bills here and there, and then take care of a few things. Yeah. So today, what I'm going to be saying are a few things that lead to failure in catfish business. A few things that leads to failure in catfish business. You know, it's all about succeeding. That's why I do this thing. So I deal with issues like things that lead to failure, and things that lead to that can lead to low you know production cost and high profit at the end. So let's look at a few things that lead to catfish business failure. Number one, I like to say that when any business is your only source that you have, it might definitely not work. Reason is because when needs arise that are greater than your profit that you make from that particular business, it will destroy the business. So it's not like some people don't get profit in catfish, business. They do, but the needs of the house, the needs of the individual, and all that tend to, frustrate every effort that they put, because the need swallows up all your profit and eventually might even get into your capital. So you have a situation where maybe after harvest you make some little profit, and then your needs take away the profit and begins to take the capital, and you tell yourself, okay, I'll use the capital, and then money can come. You just begin to hope or wish that money will come, then you continue your business. What if money doesn't come? And in this catfish business, it's livestock. In this catfish business, you must have money. It's cost intensive. You must have money down all the time. You know, in any business, whether it is catfish business or whatever, you must have a source different from your catfish business. You must have about two streams of income, or three, or four, or five, or six, or seven. You know, the average billionaire has more than one income to keep things going on. I know it is not easy. So to have two streams of income can be a lot difficult. I understand what it is. But the truth is that when you have just a little catfish business and your source of income is just one, it's going to be a lot difficult to go on, you know. Well, it's not totally bad if you have just one source of income. It's just that if you have to do a lot of sacrifice, a lot of discipline, you know, to see how you can, you know, prioritize your needs, and then the ones that are not of priority, you just shift them aside and see how. But it's a lot difficult if it is just one source of income you have, and then you have maybe your catfish business is just about 1,500 or 2,000. It's a lot difficult, you know. So I will advise, if you have a second source of income, you work on that very seriously also, so that both streams of income, both businesses will, you know, complement one another, stand for one another. You know, that's what it is. Number two thing that can make you fail will be farmers. People who want to go into this catfish business is when the infrastructure and facilities are set up wrongly. You know, when the tanks that are supposed to be used are not the ones that are used, when the plumbing of your farm is wrong, you know, when you're supposed to use 50 pipes, you go and use you know, very little pipes. You know, you can have strong pressure because you have good borehole, you know, but your pipes are too small to pump out the water that is coming out from your strong borehole, you know. So setting up of infrastructure can be a very, very terrible setback. You know, when you are supposed to have, say, about 10 tanks to start, you say, let me manage 2 first, let me manage 3 first. You know, this can lead to over congestion, which can you know, cause you a lot of problems. You know, your fishes will be slow to grow because no space for them to grow, and you know, they might die a lot, you know. So setting up of infrastructure is very, very important. When you want to start a catfish business, you must consult properly. Why I'm saying properly is because everybody seems to know about catfish business. So you go and talk to any and everybody, they'll give you wrong information. Consult the people who know what to do, you know. So you don't go and put the wrong tanks. You know, you don't go and put 1,000 liter tanks when they're supposed to use 6x4 tarpaulin tanks, or so on and so forth. You know, you don't go and put you know, plumbing work, you know, anyhow. It's, you know, that's what people do. I went to a farm today, and you know, the person has packed up, and she wants to rent out the farm. So the person who wants to rent out the farm took me there to go and see what the farm is like. When I went there, I shook my head. I said, no wonder this woman failed. The setting up of the infrastructure is horrible. It is horrible. It's just like something that little children put together, you know. So you must consult properly to set up your infrastructure and facilities in your catfish farm. Must be the right things, must be positioned properly, so on and so forth. Number 3, the catfish business It's a business of numbers and weight. Numbers and weight. The more you have, the more profit you make. Somebody who is stocking 1,000 cannot be compared to somebody who is stocking 5,000. If you have 5,000 pieces of fishes, you make more profit than somebody who is stocking 1,000. So it is a business of numbers. It is also a business of weight. You can have 5,000 pieces of fishes for harvest, but the weight is nothing, and that is why you must make sure that your fishes have some weight before you sell off. So I advise farmers that before you sell, make sure that you have 70% 1 kg and above in your stock. Don't sell before then. If you go sell roasting size, no matter the number, the weight is very little. So you have, say you are selling your fishes at 300 grams. At 300 grams, you need about three fishes or so, 3 or more fishes to make 1 kg, and that is not good weight. When you have to put so many fishes to make up the weight you want to sell, then you are going to be losing. So that is why it is advisable, get to table size and let your stock be at about 70%. You have some people now who want to sell fish, their fish, they want to harvest. And one of the things that make people harvest their fishes quickly, and they don't have enough weight, is also because of capital. Sometimes they have fed their fishes and no money again, so they just say, let me sell. It doesn't work that way. That is why you have to try as much as possible to stock as much as you can handle, okay, and just manage the profit that comes. But it is important that you have a good weight. It is a business of numbers and weight, but it is a business of weight more than even numbers. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful about the weight thing. So many people have asked me, what of this roasting size to sell roasting size? Well, it is okay if you want to sell roasting size, but I feel selling roasting size or melange is a waste of time, because they have not gathered enough weight. And say about 3 months, 2 weeks or so, that you sell your fishes for roasting size or melange, that's the time that the fishes double their weight. That's the time they add their weight. So you just wasted your time, because the 3 months, when it gets to 3 months, the remaining 2 months that will make it 5 months, that's when they gather so much weight. They eat a lot at that time. At the time when they want to begin to gather weight, that's when you sell them off. And that's the roasting size time. It's silly. If you have a lot, like I said, it's a business of numbers. If you have a lot of fishes, you can sell some roasting size. Maybe you need some money to plunge back into the farm, but you must keep a great deal of your stock to sell out for the table size, to sell out at table size stage when they have good weight. So you have to breed until you get to the right weight for sale. So that's what it is. Now, number four thing that makes people fail in this business is heavy mortality rate. When heavy mortality rate hits your farm, when fishes begin to die horribly, terribly, all the time, it will deplete your stock. It will reduce your stock, and in so doing, reduce your profit when you harvest. So you must do everything possible to avert high rate mortality in your farm. You must make sure the fishes don't die. Okay? If you watch some of my videos, I talk about keeping your fishes healthy and strong. So you can get the information there on how to keep your fishes healthy and strong, so that you can avoid heavy mortality. Number 5 thing that can cause failure in this business is procrastination, which is the character of so many people. No matter how small an issue is in your farm, handle it immediately and handle it quickly. Don't say this one does not matter. You must handle issues very quickly to make sure that you succeed in the business. There are people who defer things a lot. There are people who procrastinate a lot. If something develops in your farm that is negative, that is wrong, that needs to be looked into, look into it immediately. It will help you. Some people have said, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next tomorrow," and it becomes a big problem, and this can cause the total collapse of the business. Number 6, and maybe the last we're taking today. Do not put into the business more than you can get out of the business. Sometimes this happens when people do not understand how to feed. They feed and waste so much feed, and when it is time to sell, you cannot make profit as much as you have put in the feed. Sometimes it might be that the fish you bought from fingerling stage is not doing very well, and you don't know. The growth is very slow, so you just keep feeding and feeding. Somebody told me that she fed her fishes for 9 months and they were 200 grams. That is insane. There is no way on earth that she can make back her capital, not to talk of making any profit. So the business collapsed. That kind of thing will just end your business. Now, this is what I can advise people who get into that kind of problem. If you have fed fishes for some time and you notice they're not doing well, sell them off and restock good fishes. Because no matter how much you feed them, if they're not doing well, you just put in food, and at the end of the day, you will not get anything out of all you have put in. Not only with fishes that are not doing well, you can also have a problem because you do not understand how to space out your fishes, so you feed so much and they're not doing well, that kind of thing, where fishes are so much in the tank and you are feeding so much and only a few are growing. So you look at your tank, some of your ponds, sometimes you see some 3 to 4 very big ones and you're happy, and the rest of the lot are not. That means you are putting so much feed, so much money, but at the end of the day, you don't have enough weight to sell and get good profit. So you must be careful not to put in too much in a wasteful manner, because you will not be able to sell out all the waste you are putting in. So that's as much as I can take today. Hopefully I'll be doing something close to this again next time. Although some of my subscribers have said that I should do a video talking about how you can get a farm manager. I do not know how to do a video talking about that more than what I did in my last video when I talked about getting farm managers for your farm if you are not available all the time or you do not know what to do. I said in that video that you should get a farm manager based on experience. So you can make your own research, you can make your own investigations and all that, and get somebody who is experienced enough to be your farm manager if you're not readily available in the farm. You can't just keep your boys who are draining and filling water as farm manager. Somebody needs to manage your farm who has the experience in the business. So look for people who have the experience in the business of catfish farming, not people who have the experience of talking about catfish farming, because these are two different kinds of people. Some have the experience of talking a lot about catfish farming. There are some of these people who got about two, chemical tanks, those 1,000-liter tanks, once in their lifetime, put some fishes there and try to do something, and the whole fishes died and they closed up. They become the consultants and people who are advisable on catfish farming. When you want to source for managers of catfish farming, probably you have to look for somebody who is succeeding in a catfish business and talk to him and see whether he can merge his business and yours, help you. You pay. Okay, a lot of us in Nigeria want free things, and that's why we go to people who don't know, because they tell you nonsense and they won't charge you, and then you waste all your money. But you see people who have experience, pay them. If you want business, pay for it. If you want your business to work, pay for it. If you go talk to monkeys, if you go and talk to people who don't know what they're doing, your business will fall. Okay, so try as much as possible to get people who are experienced to manage a farm, to manage your farm, if you are not really readily available. So my name is Mr. Greg. Until next time, I'll say cheerio for now.